Hi everyone, Donna here from Clever Crafters. Thanks for joining me today. So today I was thinking that I would like to do something a little bit mixed media, and I'm going to make a standard size card and I'm going to use some napkins and an old book page. These are actually some greetings that I've cut in the past and I haven't used. I've changed my mind. I'm thinking that I'll probably use the Celebrate today because I'm always running short of birthday cards, but we'll see how we go. So we're going to start off with a napkin. Now I've taken off the two pieces off the back of this, and I'm going to stick some of the napkin onto the book paper, but I do want to see the text, so I don't want to cover the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is just use a part of it. Now I have found that the very best way to do this is I've just grabbed my water pen. It's like a brush with water in the actual pen part of it. And I am just painting water around the edge of the area that I want to use. So the reason that I do this is that you'll see here when you've done that, and I'm starting right in the middle here, it just pulls apart. When that paper is wet, it's really so pliable. It's awesome. It almost disintegrates underwater. I mean, it doesn't totally, but it's very easy, as you can see, to have directional tearing, if that's even really a thing. So here we go with the finished piece that I've torn out of my napkin, and that's a little bit wet there. I'm just going to pick that off. And now, high-tech stuff here, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any out there. I'm going to use my glue stick and plaster it all over my book page. Make sure that I've got a nice covering because I really want to make sure that this is going to stay stuck down. So this is eventually going to be the background for my card. So, well, that is the intention anyway, for it to be the background of my card. A part of it will be. So I just need to make sure that it's all stuck down nice and well. Giving it a little bit of a push down. I think there was a little bit of a bubble or something in there. So now I did the same trick with my water brush and have grabbed some butterflies out of a different napkin. Wanted to add a little bit extra color, so with that goldy colored butterfly, there's a little bit of metallic on that napkin actually, which comes up quite nicely, and I'm just sticking them down exactly the same way. So just to dull the edges down and make them look a little bit more cohesive, I decided I was going to paint the edges. Now I've just used plain white acrylic paint. I'm not sure if this is the stuff that I got for like 99 cents from Aldi. I don't, probably isn't, but you can just use any cheap acrylic paint. Some gesso if you've got some. I do. I just had the white paint, it was easy to access, and I've just put some on a little stamping block there, and I'm literally just using a dry paintbrush and going around the edges. Now that does look really white there, but it does dry back considerably, so I can still see the text from the book page through it. It was a little bit thick there, so I'm just wiping it off. You can see that I'm not really taking much care. I'm getting it on the napkin, which is, the look that I wanted as well, to smooth out, the difference in color between the book and the book page and the napkins. So, yeah, that looks okay. I might, just dragging a little bit more color around there, smoothing that off a bit. And then I think I add a little bit more. I'm adding a bit more to the center there, just because that looked a bit blank. It didn't have, any of the white there. So I thought, yeah, well, let's do that. Once again, make it a little bit more cohesive. So just grabbed out my heat gun, and I'm going to dry that off a bit because I'm not alone here. I'm impatient. All of us want to see the end result. Mind you, this whole process, I would like to tell you, the film, when I finished filming and turned it off, was 38 minutes long. So it's not a long process to start off with. Clearly that was before I edited it. But anyway, I've got a couple of things that I thought I might use to add. So this is a nice small brick stamp, background stamp. And I've just popped it on a block. Although I do have a stamping platform, sometimes it's just easier to use a block. And I've just put it on the corner of an area of the stamp, and I'm just going to pop it down in this lower corner of my piece of paper, my book page. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So I am going to put some on the other side as well. So although it looks like I'm putting a heap of ink down, I'm actually just using the edge, the corner edge of my stamp pad there. Then I decided I'd like to wipe some of that off so the edges, you know, like fade out. And then I didn't stamp any of that section on the actual page anyway. It went onto my scrap piece in the background. But, you know, that's okay. It still looks great. I was happy with that. So I'm just drying off that ink a little bit, and I decide that, you know, it's a little bit stark, that black print. So I am just getting a little bit more of my white acrylic paint and going over the top and blending it in a little bit. I actually wanted some black on the page other than just the book text, because I am going to be putting a black greeting on it. So I just felt that, you know, adding a little bit of black is also going to, you know, help bring it all together and make it look like it's all supposed to be there, even though I've pretty much just slapped everything together. So here I'm thinking about it and going, yeah, no, it's actually not going to work on the smaller piece, on the smaller card. So I got myself out a 5x7. That's actually a gold base, that 5x7 card. And I'm going to make that red matte, which I cut off screen, off camera. And now I am just going to rip the edges because I want that rustic look. And I can't actually decide here. Am I going to use the ruler as a guide? Am I gonna... Do you know, sometimes for some reason I get a bit frightened with tearing paper, but this is an old book. It's not really a big deal. And let's face facts, it is just a piece of paper. I can redo it easily enough. But I did fold it over. It gave me a nice tear line. On the left-hand side, as we're looking at it there, I decided not to do anything because that's where it was attached in the book. So it kind of had a little bit of a rough edge, and I didn't mind the look of that, where you could see that it had been stitched in a book. So I'm doing this one a little bit different to the top one. I pulled it up and I decided to pull it off next to the ruler. It was a bit frustrating, and then at the end I just got rid of the ruler and pulled that little bit off myself at the bottom. And then decided, well, I actually don't need the ruler or to fold it or anything. I'm literally just going to tear it, which gives it a more organic look. And interestingly, that's my favorite edge of the card, where I've just ripped it myself. So I've done that so you can see a little bit of that red peeking through all the way around the outside. But once again, I didn't want to waste the middle, so I've used one of my metric rectangles there to cut out the center, so I can use that top, that red piece on something else. It'll fit on an A6 card perfectly. So I'm going to pop that aside, put some glue around what is now effectively a frame of the red card stock. And I'm standing up here and just, sorry, my head gets in the way a little bit there, but I like to stand up, so standing over the top so I can center it. A bit more glue on the back of the book page. I'm using wet glue this time just to give me a little bit of maneuverability. The double-sided tape, which I use a lot of the time, is not real good on old paper. So, all right, press that down. Ended up being birthday wishes, and just tapping some of the Smart Art glue on the back of that and going to position that. So I did mention earlier that I had my daisy die out because I was thinking I'd put a daisy or something else on it, but honestly I just don't think this card needed anything else. I've put a couple of, you know, little bits of bling on the eyes, you know, for the tittles, and look, there we go. So thanks for joining me today. If you've learned something and enjoyed the video, it would be great if you gave me a thumbs up, and if you've not already, subscribed to my channel. We have an awesome Facebook page that you can check out and join. I'll put a link in the description below. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you next time.